everything comes to the top. Very
Right.
little comes to the top that says, yeah, man, go get one vitamin on me. Now you have some teachers that do that, and you have some parents that do that, but still, by and large, you have to remember that and reaching out to one another and creating that communication and network with one another. You'll be surprised if Ms. Darvel may just call me, and it's like, hey, and she's like, all right, just call in.
Wow.
I'm just saying, those are the things that you do. Those are real sanity breaks. And also, one of the hardest things is learning how to disconnect when 4 o'clock comes.
Same thing she's saying.
Yeah, you find yourself sometimes going home and you're no good to anybody, not even yourself.
True.
And just remember that you have other obligations.
Yes.
And it's hard to do that because you're always thinking of somebody else.
Right. Okay, and we'll end on that note. Thank you so much for joining in this conversation. It's certainly been a pleasure, and obviously there's teamwork, there's cohesiveness, there is synergy. So I commend you as administrators for the awesome job that you're doing in running our nation's schools. To our viewers, if you'd like to receive regular updates from the Ministry of Education, free direct text message notification updates are available. You can subscribe by texting 819-VMOE. That's 819-2663. And remember to visit our social media platforms, inclusive of our website, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Again, thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Adama Williams. We'll see you next time on Ed Table Talk Unplugged.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, hear how the tourism economy is set for a rebound with a major development and additional airlift to Grand Bahama. Police officials receiving new equipment in the fight against crime and giving an update on serious crime matters on Grand Bahama. Also, West Grand Bahama District giving residents access to central government agencies this weekend. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Simone Davis. Thank you so much for watching. Topping news tonight, a luxury resort known for its wellness, sustainability, and experience is coming to Grand Bahama. The mega project will be located in the Discovery Bay area and is not only promised to boost tourism, but also create employment opportunities for residents on the island. Tonight, the Deputy Prime Minister and the Grand Bahama Port Authority are weighing in through separate press releases on what this could mean for Grand Bahama. Shashina Roll-Farquharson reports.
It's big news for Grand Bahama and exactly among the projects needed to revitalize the island's tourism economy. Six Senses is part of a project that will boost local tourism, development, and investment on the island. It will also provide employment opportunities for local residents during the construction phase and when the resort opens. Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, releasing a statement on the announcement. The statement reads, "Not only will the resort provide jobs and a much-needed boost to the economy of Grand Bahama, but it will also provide an ideal framework for local and international researchers to further develop sustainable approaches to environmental stewardship." The DPM says this is another step toward the recovery of Grand Bahama and bringing the grand life back to the island. He concludes by adding that Six Senses will complement the plans of the government that is working for Grand Bahama, including a new foreign direct investment and a world-class international airport. The Grand Bahama Port Authority and the Grand Bahama Development Company Limited also excited about the recent announcement by world-renowned and award-winning hotel operators operator Sixenses. According to their release, the 36-acre project site will be the future home of 45 waterfront and canal villas, as well as a premier restaurant, boathouse, pool bar, and world-class amenities. The development and investment team behind this transformational project, the Weller Development Partners and Pegasus Capital Advisors, were brought to the table by GBPA Director Rupert Hayward. The GBPA and DevCo have been working with the group for the past 3 years to help bring this vision to fruition. The port statement also adding that this multi-million-dollar investment is slated to bring hundreds of jobs in the construction phases, as well as permanent jobs and world-class training opportunities. The luxury resort, known for its wellness, sustainability, and experience, is expected to open in 2026 and will be located in the Discovery Bay area. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shashina Roll-Farquharson.
Meantime, the local tourism economy also set to get a boost when American Airlines resumes scheduled flights from Charlotte, North Carolina to Freeport, Grand Bahama. The flight is set to arrive at the Grand Bahama International Airport tomorrow morning. The Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, will be on hand to welcome passengers. These visitors will be greeted with a Junkanoo rush out performed by the Superstar Rockers. Additionally, Bahamas Air is also set to expand its operations with the launch of the Grand Bahama to Raleigh, North Carolina route. The flight is scheduled for Thursdays and Sundays beginning November 17th. The company's Deputy Managing Director, Prince Storr, expressing his enthusiasm for the new route, noting that the company plans to add more destinations to the airline services in the short term. Of Police Clayton Fernander standing firm on his commitment to bringing technical advantages to the policing experience on Grand Bahama. According to Assistant Commissioner of Police Theophilus Cunningham, he says Motorola personnel and the Royal Bahamas Police Force technical staff is completing the groundwork for the second phase of the implementation of technical resources to aid in the fight against crime.
The Commissioner of Police, Mr. Clayton Fernander, in his wisdom, has brought these technological advantages to Grand Bahama to ensure that there's equal opportunity in relation to these advanced crime-fighting resources, not just in New Providence, but in Grand Bahama also. This technological advancement is intended to deter criminals by increasing the risk of detection for criminal behavior. CCTV footage has been proven to be highly effective in relation to criminal investigation in terms of identifying suspects in offenses that are committed within view of the census.
In addition to CCTVs, Shot Spotter, and the Marco Alert are additional advices residents can expect here on the island.
Shot Spotter is a firearm discharge detection technology that uses sophisticated sensors to detect, locate, and alert law enforcement agencies of illegal firearms activities as it happens. The system has been patented after the Amber Alert system in the United States of America. With the successful implementation of the Marcos Alert digital billboard, Grand Bahama citizens are expected to become more aware in quick time in relation to urgent bulletin alerts.
The island's top cop also encouraging the public, particularly business owners, to remain vigilant of their surroundings, especially those visiting the ATMs at late hours. Meanwhile, the Criminal Investigations Department, under the direction of Detective Superintendent Darrell Weir, giving an update on serious crime matters on Grand Bahama during a press briefing this morning. Our Aja Quant was there and filed this report.
A number of matters being addressed here at Central Police Station. Detective Superintendent Darrell Weir of Criminal Investigations Department speaking with media today, noting that there's a slight increase in serious criminal matters as the economy continues to open. Superintendent Ware calls the 2022 year the most challenging yet successful for the Grand Bahama Department. Murder, attempted murder, armed robbery, rape, unlawful sexual intercourse, and fraud, according to the detective, are among the serious crime matters that have increased compared to 2021.
Although the department have recorded an increase in crime matters, we are also currently experiencing 80% plus solvency rate in matters having successfully been investigated and person placed formally before the court for these matters.
The murder count on the island for the year is at a total of 6. However, Ware says 4 have been closed and 2 are outstanding.
As you know, there's no statute of limitation on murder. We are still actively investigating the matter. Every time we get a lead, we continue to follow up on that.
In 2019, reports of the brutal murder of Monet Darville sent shockwaves throughout the island. However, the man allegedly responsible for her death, Kenrick Hanna, is still on the run.
Since then, we've put a red notice out where we reach out to our counterparts through Interpol, and they are assisting us. So wherever, if legally, if he's to travel anywhere, and he go through legal channels, the whole world through Interpol will be on the lookout.
And although the department says no crime is greater than the next, armed robbery is considered one of the major concerns. According to Superintendent Ware, the Commissioner of Police, Clayton Fernander, has implemented a unit specifically to tackle firearms.
And the officers are being on point. Maybe we are reaching out to our counterparts in the U.S. and there's been a collaborative effort to try bring results. Because as we know, firearms is one of the leading causes in most matters we deal with pertaining to murders and armed robbery.
And recently, there has been an uptick in reports of missing persons. Shaquille Ferguson, Neville Wilson, Elton Miller-Wright, and Stephanie Chisholm, who is currently the longest-standing missing person for the year.
We stay in contact with the family, and we also reach out and we make checks in the neighborhood from time to time to make sure we're not giving up at all.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Azure Quant.
Thanks for that update, Azure. Well, November is recognized as Violence Against Women Awareness Month, and many people around the world can be seen wearing white ribbons to pledge their support. Tonight, we speak one-on-one with a sexual abuse survivor who has dedicated her life to helping others heal from the trauma of violence and abuse. Here's that story. Cindy Gadet says she is a sexual abuse survivor, and while she's been very candid about her story of being molested as a child, she says her focus is now on helping other women and children with similar experiences.
This issue is very near and dear to my heart. And when someone says to me, or in my hearing, not necessarily to me, that they are a sexual abuse survivor, I can absolutely relate to what is attached, everything that's attached to that statement.
The sexual abuse advocate says many people don't understand or recognize the lasting impact on victims of domestic violence or sexual abuse. She says although she became a victim at a young age, she is still on her journey of healing.
Well, it certainly left me with a lot of shame, unfortunately, that was misplaced, because that shame was never mine to carry. It led me to become very depressed, to struggle with anxiety, an eating disorder, just an overall sense of having a lack of safety in just about every situation, not trusting people, and just having lost a sense of who you really are. And it takes a while to get that back.
Following a number of reports of child molestation cases in the country and an uptick in abuse when children were at home during the COVID-19 pandemic, Gadet says she believes there should be much stiffer penalties for those who sexually abuse children.
There's a myriad of emotions that I feel when I see these really heartbreaking stories in the media. I feel anger. I feel completely heartbroken for these children. And then I hope that these perpetrators are brought to justice and are punished to the fullest extent of the law.
Gadet adds that her own experience has helped her to understand and identify with other victims, which prompted her to create her own advocacy group fighting for justice for victims across the country. The West Grand Bahama District will host the first of its kind Central Government Agency Fair this Saturday to assist residents with any services they may need as it relates to government agencies. The event is sponsored by the Honorable Obi Wilchcombe, Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini. During a press conference this week, Senator Kirkland Russell explained the purpose of the fair.
Local government, as a former practitioner myself, let me say that what is happening on Saturday is the epitome of what local government was designed to do. Local government is about bringing the government to the people.
The fair will kick off at the 8 Mile Rock High School Gymnasium on Saturday, November 5th at 10 a.m. Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxley, will be in attendance. The fair is expected to become an annual event.
We're happy to accept the invitation to attend the Central Government Agency Fair. Me and a team will be there to answer any questions that the public may have with respect to registration.
We'll have a social worker there from our school welfare division. You might have a question as relate to how do I obtain lunch program at our school. You might have a question about how to obtain uniform assistant or just how do I get my child into the government preschool.
We will be sending our public employment unit who deals with our job seekers program. We also will be sending our industrial relation unit. We'll be sending our notice of vacancy unit.
And when we come back, our ZNS Northern Service team is still celebrating 32 years. And tonight, we highlight the legendary Ricardo Lightborn. We have that story, a whole lot more, and sports when the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, returns. They mix up that story.
Come and see the cabinets and countertops in stock now at Specialty Kitchen and Bath. Number 16 Oak Street, phone 688-9661.
Dealing with your government documents should not be a hassle.
Not when you have the proper information.
The West GB District Council wants to point our resident in the right direction with the first annual Central Government Agency Fair. Both government and corporate agencies under one roof. Come seek the information you will need to have them sorted out.
No one under 15 admitted.
Please travel with 2 forms of government ID. Saturday, November 5th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the 8 Mile Rock High School Gymnasium.
For more details,
phone 348-1080 or 1085. Sponsored by the Honorable Obadiah H. Wilchcombe,
MP for West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency.
The race returns. The GBPA Conkman Triathlon, November 5th at Taino Beach. Register now at conkmantriathlon.com.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, what's up? Good morning. It's your girl Gigi, and it's the Morning Brew Show, and you're gonna love it. Come on, let's dance right into the afternoon with your favorite mix of Afro beats and Caribbean hits. Join me every morning at 8 a.m. to 12 noon as we talk about the latest hot topics, hot tea, and what's going on in the community. Come on, man, let's dance right on into the afternoon with your favorite hits. It's the Morning Brew Show with your girl Gigi on Power 104.5 FM.
Is everybody back up in the building? It's been a minute, tell me how you're healing. Cause I'm about to get into my feelings. How you feeling? How you feel right now?
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Local musician Nat Cambridge is partnering with a number of organizations to celebrate an all-Bahamian music festival geared toward promoting raw local talent. One of the event organizers, Vibe Fest, stopped by our ZNS studios, sharing the importance of creating this avenue for local talent.
As Grand Bahama being known in the 70s and 80s as the music capital of the Caribbean, that's one of the things we want to return Grand Bahama to. And one of the reasons, of course, is because it's a revenue earner for the artists and for the island. We are largely a tourist destination. Lately, we've become an industrial destination because of the pandemic and because of different things that happened, the closing of the hotels. But if Grand Bahama is on the rise, as it is said, then these artists are going to need to be in the position to present themselves to organizations like the cruise ships and the hotels so that they can hire them to do the work. But if you're not ready, we got to be ready.
I'm excited about Vibe Fest. This is a great opportunity for artists like me to express ourselves, because most, all the time they have international artists come over and we get pushed aside, so now it's our time to shine.
They believe that too often international artists are given more attention than local artists and hope that this music festival will make a difference.
I was born by the river in a little old tent. I would like for all my people to be there because I know they love me and I love them.
Vibe Fest is slated for Saturday, November 5th at Pirates Cove. You can visit the website VibeFest242 for tickets and read up on more of the artists that are scheduled to perform. Tonight, we continue to salute former employees of the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. The spotlight falls on former Deputy General Manager and veteran broadcaster Ricardo Lightbourne. Here's Aja Quant.
His legacy is definitely one to strive for.
He's a legend to many in the broadcasting industry, having reported on many international and local events. Ricardo Lightbourne started his broadcasting journey here at the ZNS Northern Service in the early 1990s. Over the many years, he worked his way up to Deputy General Manager and in 2018 retired at just 60 years young.
It's been wonderful ever since, watching the company grow and watching us come from Kipling Building into the new edifice here and to see the technology and to see things that we've done. It's been fantastic.
Once Ricardo left, a new breed of sports reporters entered the doors. He says they are doing a great job and that it takes a lot of dedication and commitment to deliver sports news.
This is not a desk job. You've got to go out, you've got to engage with the young people, and you've got to go out and get things in. You're not going to get paid for whatever you do, but you've got to go out there so that you become familiar with what's going on and you're able to identify with the young people and with the various sports disciplines that's out there and be able to bring it back and be able to be creative and use it to your ability.
Meanwhile, sports reporter here in the North, Shane Stubbs, expressing gratitude to Ricardo and many others for paving the way for the new fleet of reporters coming into this incredible industry.
There's obviously a legacy here at ZNS, not just from a sports aspect, from general news, you have Asha Kwan, you have Simone Davis, you have Jolanda Thompson, you have Raven Davis. It's a new crop of, even Ramiko and Jay Philippe, it's a new crop of us here. And it's on us to continue that legacy.
I'm very happy to see the growth that's happened here over the years and the new impetus of young people and what's happening with the Northern Service, which has been the trendsetter for the Broadcasting Corporation. From the day I got in here, we've been turning heads and becoming first in many things that we've done, and that continues.
And Ricardo shares this message to staff here in the North.
You can't carry it when you go. If you don't do it now and share it and give it to somebody for them to carry it on, then it's been in vain.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Aja Quant.
It's now time for your check on sports with Shane Stubbs.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Shane Stubbs, and welcome to another edition of Sports. We've got some brief updates for you, so let's dive into it.
Deputy Director of Sports in the Northern Bahamas for the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, Norris Bain, meeting with the various sports associations to discuss the way forward.
I think one of the greatest things that we need to do is partnership, and working together in all of the disciplines is very important for the success of sports as it relates to Grand Bahama.
To get ready for the Bahama Games next year, Bain says collaborating with the associations could help in the construction of teams out of Grand Bahama.
But I propose that we start now planning and having various disciplines at different weekends so that we can get ready heading into Thursday to that Sunday. We'll have a constituency set of games where we play a round-robin style from Thursday to Sunday. The following week, we may go to volleyball. But the funding, I've spoken with the minister, so I know the funding he really wants to give us the funding. We do this moving in, it will afford you the opportunity to pick your teams heading into the Bahama Games.
This was just the first of many meetings set to be held between the ministry and the associations. Next up in sports, young ladies receiving some pitching pointers during a softball pitching clinic. Arista Lockhart and Kerry Forster say it is all about setting the right foundation.
Most of the young ladies out here are first-time pitchers, never pitched before, and so she's going to lay down the foundation for them. And so once that foundation is laid down, the sky's the limit.
So since being here, I love the cheers, I love the excitement, I love the athleticness of the kids. They're very eager to learn, and so we're just trying to build that up and teach them good mechanics. So what we're trying to do is just build that solid foundation. Once they understand it, then they can build any pitch on top of it.
And lastly in sports, scores from the Rosina Nesbitt Oriole Notes High School Volleyball Playoffs over at the St. George's Gymnasium. The senior girls played the St. George's Jaguars defeated Vanina C. Smith Academy 2-0. Later on, the Tabernacle Falcons defeated the Mary Star Crusaders 2-0. And lastly, the BMES Warriors dominating the Jack Cable Wildcats 2-0.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That is your quick update on sports. I'm Shane Stubbs. Continue to have a happy Friday.
My name is Lavender Burrows, Assistant Production Director. I am forever grateful for the opportunities this job has afforded me and to work with such wonderful people along my pathway. As the legacy continues, I hope to help empower more on this great journey. Happy 32nd anniversary.
The West Grand Bahama District Council presents the first annual Central Government Agency Fair, Saturday, November 5th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the 8 Mile Rock High School Gym. Government and corporate assistance under one roof. Sponsored by the Honorable Obadiah H. Wilchcombe, Member of Parliament for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency.
Bahamas says now is the perfect time to do all those updates and repairs, changing your flooring or updating those windows. Now in stock at Conant Bahamas are stylish ceramic plank tiles, shower floor tiles, an array of sizes in porcelain tiles, laminate and vinyl flooring, impact and PVC windows. Conant Bahamas is stocked out with everything you need to enhance your beautiful home, so you enjoy life the way you should. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
We just got the new fiber internet speed bump. Now my internet so fast I can watch 2 4K movies, play video games, and browse on my computer at the same time.
Yeah, my internet so fast I could download a whole season of shows before my noodles run cooking.
Mine so fast when I go to church online, service actually over early.
Mine so fast when I'm working from home, 5 o'clock, come before 3.
Sound like you got this BTC fiber internet speed bump like me.
But it's so fast I had to have it.
Current fiber internet bundle customers now have as much as 3 times the speed, totally free. Link up with BTC.
Dealing with your government documents should not be a hassle.
Not when you have the proper information.
The West GB District Council wants to point our residents in the right direction with the first annual Central Government Agency Fair. Both government and corporate agencies under one roof. Come seek the information you will need to have them sorted out.
No one under 15 admitted.
Please travel with 2 forms of government ID. Saturday, November 5th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the 8 Mile Rock High School Gymnasium.
For more details,
phone 348-1080 or 1085. Sponsored by the Honorable Obadiah H. Wilshcombe.
MP for West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency.
Digital bidding for government contracts is now better than ever. All business owners are encouraged to register on the new and improved e-procurement and supplies registry system to access all government contracts. Never miss another opportunity to grow your business. Registration takes just 5 minutes and gives you instant access to notifications of business opportunities and the ability to submit bids to the Bahamas government. Want to learn more? Visit moffvendors.gov.bs and register today.
With over 30 years of service with integrity, services in Abaco, New Providence, and Grand Bahama, providing modern and state-of-the-art equipment, specializing in the maintenance and operation of waste treatment plants, waste oil movement, sludge extraction, tank cleaning, elite portable toilets, and hand wash stations. We are efficient, reliable, and cutting edge. We are B&B Galaxy.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
This one tonight goes out to our Deputy Director of Television, Brando Stewart, for 32 years of service in TV. And we also highlight his decorating skills and his sarcastic attitude that remains unmatched. Let's not forget his DJing skills. DJ Future definitely has some competition. Brando, we thank you for always going over and beyond the call of duty to ensure the smooth operation here at the North. And we want to remind you that tomorrow is the 8 Mile Rock Central Government Fair, sponsored by the Member of Parliament and the Minister of Social Services, Obi Wilchcombe. Once again, the fair will kick off at the 8 Mile Rock High School Gymnasium tomorrow at 10 a.m. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire ZNS News team, I'm Simone Davis. Thank you for watching, but be sure to stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report, Prime Minister Davis jetting off to COP27. A multi-million-dollar sustainable development set for the second city. And in sports, private school softball championships set. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
ZNS News is linked up by BTC. Whether it's chatting, gaming, content creating, or working smart to get things done, link up to stay connected with BTC.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lloyd Allen, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. Topping news, Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Philip Davis, on his way to Egypt tonight to represent the country at next week's 2022 United Nations Climate Change Conference, more commonly referred to as Conference of the Parties, or COP27. Now, the high-level meeting gives countries the opportunity to review, analyze, and discuss the global climate change crisis. Altavis Munnings has his preview.
Exactly 1 year after stipulating the country's position on climate change at COP26 in Glasgow, Scotland, Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honourable Philip Davis, heads to Egypt this weekend to further strengthen our message.
On Tuesday, November 8th, Prime Minister Davis will give his speech to the Conference of Parties in the afternoon. Prime Minister Davis will focus on the continued push in the Bahamas to fight climate change and update the public on strides made since traveling to COP last year. He'll also stress how, instead of talk, we've been taking action on a number of fronts. Mr. Davis will also make a major announcement as well on the future of climate change and construction in the Bahamas.
Previous reports stated that the Bahamas' COP27 delegation would comprise 70 individuals in total. But in fact, the Office of the Prime Minister's Press Secretary, Clint Watson, clarified that only 10 government officials will travel with the Prime Minister. Civil servants will make up the technical teams from government ministries and agencies, forming the other members of the Bahamas delegation.
The private sector makes up a larger portion of the delegation going to COP, with some 37 persons from the private sector who will be going from various youth organizations, various NGOs, environmental groups, and individual persons as well. They make up a larger portion of that. Prime Minister will travel with a delegation of 10 with himself on Friday. The only other minister traveling to COP27 will be Minister Clay Sweeting, who's going to play a very heavy role in a considerable effort on agriculture and food security, COP27. The following week, when the Prime Minister returns, the Attorney General will be leading the delegation, who was already there. The Attorney General will be leading the negotiations on behalf of the Bahamas, and he will be the only second cabinet minister who will be attending COP along with Prime Minister.
Discussions at the recent regional climate change conference here in the Bahamas expected to be a nucleus of the region's climate change message at COP27, proving just how serious the Bahamas is about this global phenomenon.
And as the private sector understands and see how it impacts what they do, more and more of them are going. More and more companies are sending representatives to make sure that they're at the table, they're at the place where negotiations are taking place to ensure that their future is safeguarded and protected.
The Prime Minister and his delegation are expected to return home from Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt on November 12th. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Altaviz Mannings.
And more details in from Thursday's briefing at the Office of the Prime Minister, where the Bahamas Pharmaceutical Association and the government have ironed out concerns related to the price control regulations amendments.
The medications that we have on our list reflects the World Health Organization medical list and an auxiliary list that we feel was necessary in order for Bahamians throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas to capitalize on the savings necessary in order for them to be able to have their medications.
Health and Wellness Minister, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, noting that the agreement struck with the Bahamas Pharmaceutical Association allows for patients requiring medication for a host of non-communicable ailments will see affordable pricing at private pharmacies up until at least the end of January. Additionally, Dr. Darville adds catastrophic health insurance through NHI remains in the plans for the government, while encouraging stakeholders to expect continued consultation and support as the initiative develops. Now, in reference to those additions to the price control regulations amendment, BPA member and clinical pharmacist Shagregor McPhee explains.
We've also added cancer drugs and kidney drugs. We would have gone ahead and, as the minister mentioned, we would have used the World Health Organization's Essential Drug 2021 list as our basis. And even in looking at that, again, the WHO looks at global. So we wanted to look at, hey, closer to home. So our team sat down and we said, you know what, Minister, we got some more drugs that we'd like to add to this list. So what you will be seeing is, along with the WHO list, we've actually added quite a few more supplemental drugs to that list, all in an effort to ensure that the Bahamian populace does have access to better priced medication. And
Economics Affairs Minister, Senator the Honorable Michael Halkitas, also sharing that the agreement streamlines margins for both wholesalers and retailers.
We're on 20% for wholesale and 40% for retail. We're able to include oncology, which is cancer, and nephrology, kidney drugs, which is a huge add, and so a very positive outcome. And so we're thankful to the association for being able to come and, it's an even better outcome, we believe, than we originally had by being able to relax a little bit on the margin, but we got those additional drugs put in.
Now, despite initial concerns of consultation from the BPA, Halkitis notes that fundamentally, the amendments remain unchanged. McAfee, meantime, says the 2 days of meetings with officials has removed significant gray areas.
But at least having some relaxation with the margins, and we can pass that on certainly to our patients.
And both sides are hopeful for market factors to lessen the need to reevaluate the terms at the end of the 3-month agreement. And some good news in for the second city. The long-delayed recovery of the island of Grand Bahama could soon be spurred up thanks to a new multi-million-dollar sustainable investment. Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, gave details on the project set to occupy 36 acres in the Discovery Bay area. Cleopatra Murphy has this report from Canada.
A new $200 to $250 million sustainable resort is headed to Grand Bahama, with ground set to be broken on the project on December 12th. Weller Development Partners and Pegasus Capital Advisors' Six Senses Grand Bahama is a luxury sustainable resort set to open in 2026. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, says the pending resort is exciting news for Grand Bahama and its long-stalled economy.
Six Senses is one of the largest, biggest reputation brand in terms of eco-friendly boutique resorts, spa, sustainable tourism, and this is going to be exciting for the product on the island of Grand Bahama. There are going to be villas, there are going to be waterfront features. I've mentioned the magnificent spa that's coming as a part of this. This is going to be excellent for the destination of Grand Bahama.
45 waterfront and canal villas to be exact, in addition to 20 branded residences, experience center, artist studio, and a marine research and dive center with a focus on coastal resiliency. The minister, who spoke on the sidelines of Bahamas Ministry of Tourism promotional event at the Four Seasons Montreal in Canada, expects the investment will be a major boost for the economy, creating significant employment during construction and upon completion.
Today we celebrate the Dwella Group, Pegasus Capital, and Six Senses brand. So this project is ready to go. They're funded, they have their branding, they have a master plan, and they're about to roll out this groundbreaking ceremony sometime in December. So this isn't something in the pipeline.
Cooper says the sustainable project will attract high-end clientele, and with many ecotourism pursuits on Grand Bahama, there is the potential for ecotourism to flourish.
We haven't seen any brand new product for Grand Bahama lately, so this is welcome for the island. This is going to be a great boost for the reputation of Grand Bahama Island. It's going to come just in time, along the same time as the brand new world-class airport, so it's going to complement each other. There are other investments in the pipeline as well for Grand Bahama. We'll talk about that in due course.
Six Senses operates 20 hotels and resorts in 17 countries. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
And on behalf of the government, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs extending thoughts and prayers to the people of Belize who were hit by Hurricane Lisa on Wednesday. A Foreign Affairs press release states the ministry is continuing to monitor the situation of our Caribbean neighbor through diplomatic channels in order to advise government on providing any assistance.
Hi, this is Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean with a tropical weather update brought to you by BTC and CBS Bahamas. In the tropics, we continue to look at Lisa now over the southwest Gulf of Mexico as a tropical depression. Maximum sustained winds now down to 30 miles per hour. Lisa is moving toward the north-northwest at some 5 miles per hour, and we do not anticipate any further intensification of this system. And then we have this area of low pressure, which is forming to the east of the Bahamas. It is expected to move northward and then towards the northeast, and that will increase the chance of showers across the Bahamas beginning the middle part of next week. This has been a tropical weather update brought to you by BTC and CBS Bahamas.
And stay tuned. tuned. There's more after the break.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
You have enough things to worry about. Living in a world that can seem opposite of the things you are trying to accomplish.
I can need a little help with this.
We're here to let you know that you don't have to go at it alone. Choose peace of mind. Choose comfort. Choose CB. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
We just got the new fiber internet speed bump. Now my internet's so fast, I can watch 2 4K movies, play video games, and browse with my computer at the same time.
Yeah, my internet's so fast, I could download a whole season of shows before my noodles run cooking.
Mine's so fast, when I go to church online, service actually over early.
Mine's so fast, when I'm working from home, 5 o'clock, come before 3.
Sound like you got this BTC fiber internet speed bump like me.
But it's so fast, I had to have it.
Current fiber internet bundle customers now have as much as 3 times the speed. Totally free. Link up with BTC. We need to save. Be happy! Save at KFC with the one-piece chicken box fill-up for only $5.95. Enjoy genuine savings and the genuine flavor of KFC chicken fried to golden perfection with crispy fries, a buttery biscuit, and an ice-cold Pepsi. Only at KFC Nassau.
What is a team that delivers magic? Hi, my name is D.R.C. Raming Jr.
And my name is Winston Roll.
And we're with Arawak X.
Well, a team that delivers magic is 2 acronyms. The team acronym stands for the executive advisors and management of the company. So anybody that has any control in providing direction and movement for that company. And then the magic part means that they have to have, the company itself has to have a market for its product or service. The market has to be accessible to them. They have to have the ability to grow. They have to be doing something innovative, and by innovative we mean something that's going to be a market disruptor, something that's different than anybody else in the industry, not necessarily technologically, but something different. And then, of course, the corporate governance. They have to be able to adhere to what is required of a publicly traded, regulated company.
Visit arawakx.com or scan the QR code on the screen to start investing today.
To think of the bank as my personal ATM machine. If I wanted a new car, new furniture, a weekend trip to Miami, no problem. Just max out the credit card or top up my loan. I was a big baller until I realized that 75% of my salary was going to pay back all those loans. Fidelity's personal financial coaching was the best solution. Fidelity gave me a plan with a debt consolidation loan that has a built-in savings that pays 5% interest. I now only have 1 low monthly payment plus money in my pocket. Give Fidelity Bank a call at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit any of Fidelity's locations or visit a website at fidelitygroup.com.
Two suspects believed to be connected to the deadly shooting of a German man in Andros have been brought to the capital for questioning. Another German national was also injured during the incident. He remains in hospital in stable condition. Meantime, the man who was killed has been identified as 57-year-old Torsten Hendrick. Now, police say 3 German men were at their summer home when a gunman approached and opened fire, hitting 2 of them before fleeing the scene. Investigations are ongoing, and the 2 suspects could face charges before the courts. And National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Munro, says steps have been taken to correct a number of outstanding issues at the Bahamas Department of Corrections. This as Prison Chief Charles Murphy remains on pre-retirement leave. He was placed on administrative leave pending an investigation into a number of matters at the prison.
All of the matters that we've met
we've moved to correct. So the doctor wasn't permitted to put in place proper COVID protocols. Immediately, he's been permitted to put in proper COVID protocols. He's been elevated to the point that he gives medical advice, and we mandate that it be followed. Little simple things like that that were not happening have been corrected.
Now, meantime, the Ministry of Finance has decided not to fund a private investigation into allegations which essentially led to Mr. Murphy being placed on leave. Minister Munro had this response.
You would only proceed with an investigation if you had some financial, from the Ministry of Finance purposes, some financial goal to accomplish. We have moved to correct the matters that we found. So officers who were summarily sent out of the institution, prevented from working, not paying improperly so, they've been brought back. The matter have been resolved. We're still engaged in the litigation with Prescott Smith, who alleges that we unlawfully imprisoned him. That case will move forward. The court will give a decision about whether or not Mr. Murphy is liable. I am liable because, as the Act says, as the minister responsible, I have general superintendents.
And Labour Minister, the Honourable Keith Bell, telling House members in Parliament Thursday that at the next sitting of the House of Assembly, he will move for the appointment of a select committee to investigate matters that arose from the Auditor General's report and for the examination of accounts related to the Bahamas Embassy in Brussels, Belgium. Now, the move comes after Minister Bell claimed back in June that hundreds of thousands of dollars were spent on the former Belgian ambassador, resident and hotel accommodations during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic.
For the period November 1st, 2019 to July 7th, 2022, with power to send for persons and papers, with leave to sit from place to place, and with leave to sit during any recess.
And Housing Minister, the Honourable JoBeth Colby Davis, says the increase in minimum wage will positively impact hundreds of mortgage applicants across the country, as it will make it a little easier for them to realize the dream of home ownership. She also announced during debate on a resolution to increase the minimum wage in the House of Assembly Thursday that a number of families will get the keys to their own homes by the end of the month.
We will not make promises of home ownership. We will not produce sketches for public relations stunts. We intend to actually put families in their homes. And by the end of November 2022, we will be putting at least 18 more families in their homes. 18 more families will be able to place Christmas wreaths on their own doors to their homes, because we are serious about our commitment.
Now, in supporting the resolution, the Housing Minister said the increase in the base salary of thousands of Bahamian workers will bring relief amidst rising inflation.
According to the monthly Economic and Financial Development Report for September 2022 by the Central Bank of the Bahamas, Madam Speaker, year-to-date prices have gone up by 5.2% compared to 2.1% in 2021. As a matter of good governance, Madam Speaker, something must be done. The decision to increase the weekly minimum wage by $50 allows wages to catch up to the rising cost of living at this time and will assist in softening the impact of inflation on many Bahamian households.
Also tonight, Bahamas Power and Light Company's LED street light retrofitting project officially underway here in the capital. The joint initiative with the Caribbean Development Bank is expected to replace 30,000 street lights. Now, the goal is to reduce cost and environmental impact by upgrading existing high-pressure sodium and mercury vapor lights with LED bulbs that would consume more than 30% less power than conventional lighting, also reducing the network's demand and lowering overall street lighting costs. The project will have a similar rollout in the Family Islands in the near future. And some good news for motorists as a major multi-million-dollar initiative is now underway to fix potholes on our city streets. Minister of Public Works and Utilities, the Honorable Alfred Sears, says the initiative will also focus on enhancing the quality and sustainability of the roads here in New Providence and throughout the Family Islands.
With respect to New Providence, that we will be within the next several weeks, we will have a 3-week blitz. We will engage additional contractors, and the 12 zones, we will cover them and ensure that the potholes in New Providence are addressed. Secondly, we will expand the capacity of the road paving crews within the ministry, as well as the drainage crews, so that we have a quick response in addition to the contractors that we have engaged and additional contractors that we will engage.
Now, according to Minister Sayers, additional contractors will also be engaged and more inspectors will be brought in to have professionals roving through New Providence to ensure that the quality of work is up to standard, while Cabinet is addressing the issue of additional supplies to ensure that the work is sustained over this year into the future. He noted that 100 tons of coal patch will be delivered to fix roads across Eleuthera. Now, he also provided an update on ongoing roadworks in the Village Road area.
On Friday, we had a community consultation, and it went extremely well, and let me hasten to say thank you to the stakeholders in the Village Road area who came, and it was a very constructive, very amicable consultation where persons expressed their appreciation for the work, and some of the businesses spoke about some disruption in their work, and we are looking at ways that we can address their concerns. And the key thing is to meet the deadline, the completion date, and the completion date is December.
It's time now for the results of this week's poll question. As a reminder, you were asked, should government officials publicly disclose the cost of foreign trips? On Twitter, 85.4% of you said yes, leaving just under 15% of you voting no. On YouTube, yes garnered 89% of votes, with others voting no, totaling 11%. As always, thanks for your participation. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Stay with us.
Expressive Collaborations and Creative House of Opportunities, Bahama Resort, has opened its newest creative platform with Echo Art Gallery, partnering with the National Art Gallery to bring a unique experience to the Bahamas.
But I think the thing that made me most excited is when we got the National Art Gallery to want to partner with us. So that was very important because, in 20 years, the National Gallery has not had a footprint outside of Villa Doyle, which is downtown on West and West Hill Street. So it's significant to do that. I think it's a moment where you see their programming expanding and needing to be, bigger. So the church is not the building necessarily. It's, it's the congregation. We want to be at the helm of the first, visual arts kind of art basel for the region. So this becomes like the epicenter for contemporary Caribbean art. And so you have to take that in small steps. So it's not about only Echo. It's about the NAGB. It's about these other spaces that exist in the community. Project Ice, Dungalik Studios, the other galleries, Turn, Cab, all of these spaces, I think, really kind of come together to form a whole experience, which is, I think, speaks a Bahamian language, but in a global kind of dialect.
For more information on Echo, you can visit thecurrent.bahamar.com. I'm Joshua Robbins, and this is Tourism Today.
NBA League Pass is the coolest way to watch the hottest game there is. When threes rain down and superstars heat up. When clutch jumpers splash and your team is fire. You'll be there for up to 40 games a week, any way you want to watch. NBA League Pass. Order now.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Some 150 human resource professionals came together this week to re-energize and learn more about their profession during a two-day seminar at Atlantis. President of the Bahama Society for Human Resource Management, Isora Cumberbatch, said it's the first in-person event since the pandemic, with attendees hearing from a wide spectrum of professionals. She noted that human resource professionals are the gatekeepers and cultural stewards of all of the businesses they serve.
So if you don't have HR at the helm of your business, that company inevitably is going to fail. We deal when it comes with keeping employees engaged, when it comes to establishing total reward strategies for our companies, and just to keep us progressive. HR is always needed. And with that, it's always important to ensure that as professionals, you are familiarized with the local labor laws.
And as the government moves to begin discussions with stakeholders on the move toward a livable wage, Minister of Labor, the Honorable Keith Bell, and Public Service Minister, the Honorable Pia Glover-Roll, said input from human resource professionals will play a pivotal role in the exercise.
I think this is the best place to start with the human resource managers, because they are the ones who actually see, understand, and deal with human resource in the workplace. But more importantly, when we talk about human resource managers, we talk about livable wage, we now have to talk about productivity in the workplace. So I want to encourage them and inspire them to tell us how we as a government could ensure that as we move towards this livable wage, we also increase productivity.
And if we're all working together and sharing our best practices, it helps to ensure that we have a consistent flow of human resource policy in the nation. For me, ideally, I would like to see a national human resource development policy that, of course, will work in tandem with the overarching national development plan.
Now, although Breast Cancer Awareness Month has ended, women who've gotten a mastectomy should know there remains options when it comes to supporting their chest. Bahamas Medical Supplies offers a variety of bras specially designed for mastectomy patients and women with large chests. The essential attire comes in a myriad of colors and accompanies cups A through G.
These mastectomy bras have special pockets for you to insert a prosthesis, which makes it a lot more comfortable when you're wearing them, and also makes it so that it doesn't move around and you feel secure.
Now, if you are interested, you can visit Bahamas Medical Supplies on Rosetta Street or their digital store online. Officials are certain these bras will also provide emotional support.
With these bras and prosthetics, the goal is to always make you feel how you felt before, make it feel as if you don't even notice that something is not there. So the emotional aspect is very important, and we are trained very specifically in order to deal with that and to be encouraging and welcoming and make everybody feel comfortable.
Well, if you attend this December event, you might just wind up with a Bahamian celebrity sitting at your table. This as the Bahamas Red Cross Society gears to host its High Tea Party. It's a fundraising tradition which usually sees members and attendees gather in the gardens of Government House, but this time around, attendees will gather on December 4th at the Holy Trinity Activity Center for an afternoon of dancing, socializing, and not to forget, tea. This year, officials are hosting the event under the theme, Bahamian Celebrity Christmas High Tea. Proceeds will go towards the Red Cross Society's Meals on Wheels program, which has seen a bigger demand in recent weeks.
We serve on a daily basis between 150 to 170 hot meals in New Providence, and probably another 60 hot meals daily in Grand Bahama. The cost, as you could well appreciate, of food have gone up a bit, but we do not want the quality of food to go down. We expect to continue serving nutritious meals that are helpful to those who we consider the most vulnerable because they rely on us.
Starting from Western Esplanade, meandering through Saunders Beach and on to JFK, and then finally ending at NIB. Today's Public Service Parade saw a display of unity by members of the Public Service Union. Antoine Smith was on the route and has the details.
It's like the old Bahamian song goes, they're coming by boat or by bus. Trailer trucks masked as floats, crowds by the hundred strong, the energy buzzing in the air, sure enough, marking the return of the Public Service Float Parade.
This is something that we look forward to. We've missed it for the past 2 years because of the pandemic, and we're just so happy that we can come together like this again, just to reflect on public officers, pay honor for the hard work that we do as public officers.
The parade's return comes after a noteworthy year for the public service, one marked by early union unrest and sickouts, and later ameliorated by long overdue promotions and a landmark increase in public sector minimum wage. It also comes as officials look towards implementing a series of transformative changes in the hopes of building a better public service.
As we speak, even though we're on this parade, there are public servants at the Ministry of Public Service right now in office working on promotions, working on reclassifications and confirmations for their sister and brother colleagues. So a transformed public service will speak to a more efficient and effective product.
With hard and diligent workers leading the public service, and for now, the parade.
And it is so much fun, so much camaraderie, and I think it will help with the morale of the workers and everything. I feel great to know that they're getting together and as a public servant, that we're doing something in unity.
Public Service Week caps off with the Fun Run Walk on Saturday, beginning at the Ministry of Health's grounds on Meeting Street. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Antoine Smith. Antoine Smith.
And what's a Bahamian affair without a bit of Junkanoo? Junkanoo took center stage in Toronto on Tuesday night as the Ministry of Tourism hosted a reception for media and other industry stakeholders. That event was held at the Park Hyatt Toronto, where the Deputy Director General of Tourism, Kenneth Rumer, touted the Bahamas as a 16-island destination.
Atlantis, you can jump on a small plane and go into Kamalimi Key in Andros. You can glide again to islands of the Bahamas, over 16 islands, over 100,000 square miles. Again, these are the things that really gives us the confidence to saying it is truly better in the Bahamas.
And Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Aviation and Investment, the Honorable Chester Cooper, also shared that 60% of Canadians who visit the Bahamas return.
They come because we continue to offer something special. We continue to offer multiple experiences. We continue to offer multiple island destinations. We continue to offer the convenience of getting there in less than 3 hours. And if you have a good tailwind, we could do it in 2 hours and 30 minutes.
And students of S.E. McPherson Junior High School greeting a special visitor on Thursday. Our Charles Fisher was there and tells who and just how the students responded.
It was a special welcome for the singer of the mega global hit, Jerusalem. The students who have heard the song and know the dance in awe of the superstar. Speaking with the students, the singer with a special message for them.
The time of entertaining boys, it will come later, not now. So for now, just focus on your studies. Same thing applies with the boys. Just focus on your studies. The time of entertaining girls, it will come at a later stage, not now. It's even worse for with the girls, because you guys, you'll become pregnant and the boys will continue with their studies. So make sure that you take good decisions, because a wrong decision that you are doing now, believe me, it's going to ruin your life forever.
The highlight of the morning was when the students performed to the hit song. Recorded getting a bit emotional watching the performance.
Sometimes I don't believe that, oh my gosh, is this really happening? You know, because, you know, I know many people when they see me today, they don't think that maybe Nomcebo is maybe coming from a poor family or was once a person that didn't have food to go to school or a uniform, like food or maybe a uniform to go to school.
Joining festivities was the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg.
I just felt that it would have been great fun, bring the message, positive message to the students, and for us to put on a little performance and the students to put on a little performance for her and let her know that we appreciate her song. She let us know what the song was all about, and that is that when you down and out, that always remember that the Lord is there for you.
Boleg also trying to the steps himself.
Oh yeah, I got it down pat, you know. I was supposed to Google it and learn it, but then I watched the SE students and I pick it up quick.
School's principal, Shavana Daval, excited her school was chosen for this experience and the message.
It's amazing that a message of such importance, the focus on academics and doing well is across cultural boundaries, because here we have it today, our guest coming in from the continent of Africa and sharing the same message that we've been sharing with our children all along.
Surely was a good experience. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Charles Fisher.
Oh, Charles Fisher, always finding those fun stories. Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platform. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
We just got the new fiber internet speed bump. Now my internet's so fast I can watch 2 4K movies, play video games, and browse on my computer at the same time.
Yeah, my internet's so fast I could download a whole season of shows before my noodles run cooking.
Mine's so fast when I go to church online, service actually over early.
Mine's so fast when I'm working from home, 5 o'clock, come before 3.
Sound like you got this BTC fiber internet speed bump like me.
But it's so fast, I had to have it.
Current fiber internet bundle customers now have as much as 3 times the speed. Totally free. Link up with BTC.
When you wanna save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you wanna look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant here to educate you on the do's and don'ts at the service station. Here's what you don't do. Do not pull up from the pump without first checking that the nozzle has been removed from your car. Because if you pop this, that's about $600,000 to $30,000 to replace. These things ain't cheap. What you want to do is make sure that the nozzle has been removed, or just wait for the universal sign, which is the double tap.
I've been blown away. Totally love the vibe. To really be able to lead this process, I feel a great sense of gratitude around being able to have Shelly to be here with us.
This event was one that you had to be here.
You know, any time that I am able to spend time with especially young women who have aspirations and things they want to achieve, it is just always wonderful. So this has been a terrific experience today.
Have you ever tried to remove the claws off a stone crab? There's a traditional method that's been used for decades, but some researchers in Eleuthera discovered another way that could actually preserve the life of those precious crustaceans. Altavis Munnings explains.
When a stone crab is fished from the ocean, it's just natural for the fishermen to grab its biter with their bare hands and then snap off its claws. But researchers in Eleuthera are now relaying the message, don't clip the biter, stick it. Here's how it works. By simply sticking a sharp object into the soft joint midway down the claw, a fisher can make the crab drop its claw, which avoids damage to the joint that can occur when cracking or clipping the claw off.
We actually found that using this different method, where the crab drops its own claw, actually led to about a 30% increase in survival of the crabs. So a pretty big increase in the welfare for the crabs and the number of crabs that survive the harvest process. And then from there, we wanted to reach out and engage more fishers to actually look at the feasibility of implementing this, to share the work and get advice from the actual stakeholders and fishers who were involved in this fishery.
Eric Schneider is the research scientist at the Cape Eleuthera Institute at the Island School in South Eleuthera. He, along with Director of Community Partnerships and Engagement Candace Britton, consulted stone crab fishers, processors, and exporters on Eleuthera, Abaco, Grand Bahama, and New Providence to share their findings and garner feedback as well as advice on the feasibility of implementing this different harvest method in the commercial stone crab fishery.
One of the concerns that was discussed in our meetings with different fishers was, if we have to add a couple seconds to each claw we're removing, that's just not going to work in the workflow on a commercial boat. So we're going to do some follow-up work, and we've actually got interest from a number of stone crabbers who are going to start trying this method out, right? Because with anything, it's going to take some practice to find the most efficient and safe way to do this.
And one of the things fishers have shared with us is, for them, it's very important that it's not a really big tool, because for the quality of their product, a smaller puncture is less obvious. You want to maintain the aesthetic of the claw for your consumers. And so that's something they've expressed to us, is they actually like the smaller hole, and they think that would be better for the quality of their product.
The Eleuthera researchers used a stainless steel ice pick to test this new method since it doesn't rust easily. The stone crab season runs October 16th through May 31st each year, and researchers feel this is an exciting opportunity to continue this work. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Altavis Munnings.
And it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Lloyd. Outside of our studios, we have a few clouds, temperature 82 degrees, the relative humidity at 65%, east-northeast winds at 15 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,013.6 millibars, that's 29.93 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the Family Islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 79 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Grand Toll Key, and Marsh Harbor, Abaco. The Berry Islands at 82 degrees, 82 also in Alistown, Bimini. Harbor Island, 83 degrees, 78 degrees in Rock Sound, Eleuthera, Fresh Creek, Central Andros at 82 degrees. 82s also in Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, Rum Key, and Georgetown, Exuma, 81s in Rygat Island, Clownstown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Miguana, 76, Ackland, 76, Matthew Tiny, Nagua at 80 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 79 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. Tonight in the Northwestern Islands, the winds are going to be northeast to east, speeds 12 to 18 knots, and the wave heights 3 to 6 feet. Low tide that takes place at 11:55 tonight. In the central and southeastern islands, northeast winds as well, but not as stiff, 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. And then on Saturday through Sunday, the winds become easterly at 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet. So caution flags will hold through Sunday. Low tide takes place at 12:40 in the morning with a high tide at 5:56 in the afternoon. And then in the central and southeastern islands, once again, easterly, 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
I'm feeling some cause I didn't play that out. All I want is that sweet juicy crab in my mouth. I want me some crab sauce. I can buy the crab house. I want me some crab sauce. I can buy the crab house. I want me some crab sauce. I can buy the crab house. All I want is that sweet juicy crab in my mouth.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Are you a contractor or new homeowner? Maybe you need a few pieces of lumber for your DIY projects. Welcome to Capital Lumber, the newest building materials company in the Bahamas. Located on Parkgate Road, Nassau, helping you to maximize your savings on lumber, cement, shingles, tools, and much more. Your one-stop shop for all your building essentials. With free delivery to the mail booth, visit us today. Capital Lumber, build strong.
Welcome to the Cable Bahamas Business Solutions Cybersecurity Tip of the Day for default credentials. Default passwords exist with almost every operating system and application. Point number 1, check the default passwords on all hardware and software and change passwords immediately. Test the credentials to see if they are still valid. When changing passwords, make sure that the new password is strong, unique, and stored securely. Remember, stay safe, stay informed, and stay protected.
The Sports Report is brought to you by Hoop Fest in Paradise, December 16th to the 17th at the Kendall G. Isaacs Gym. The best in U.S. and Bahamian high school basketball.
Good evening. It's Friday evening sports check. I'm Charles Fisher. Before you head into the weekend, the second half of the private school sudden death softball playoffs going down at Freedom Farm on Thursday. In junior boys action, the Temple Christian Suns stunned the Big Red Machine of Sauk in what may be considered an upset, winning a nail-biter 8-7. Going into that game, Sauk was undefeated during the regular season.
We played them before and we lost. But I know the second time we come up, I know we can match them. We come out, we was prepared. Everybody made their good plays, no errors, and we came out with the win.
Nassau Christian Academy senior girls made sure there would be a new champ on the girls' side this year as they eliminated the reigning champs St. John's College Jolly Green Giants 15-4, this game lasting only 3 innings. April Davis picking up the win.
We played them just last week and we beat them 17-6. So I felt like we're going to win this one and win it more.
In the final game, the Nassau Christian senior boys scored 8 runs in the first, 2 in the second, and 7 in the third to club St. John's Giants 17-2 for the victory.
We were very confident that we were going to come and win this game because in the season leading up to to this point, we have been playing some very good ball, and this group of boys that I have here is one of tremendous talented set of boys who are doing everything that we could ever ask of them as a coach, as supporters, and they have been delivering every single thing, and I'm very proud of them.
Now the best of 3 championships will get underway next week, Monday, at Freedom Farm. Coming on as a title sponsor for the 2023 Carifta Track and Field Championships, Oak Tree Medical can be seen as a major sports player. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Don DeVoe on why they are taking chance on sports.
Sports has a transformative effect, and so it teaches you sacrifice, hard work, dedication, and based on, like I say, what we see in the news, you see, like I say, the level of social decadence, you see the level of crime, and it's directly attributed to lack of youth development, and so this is our way to help build the community, essentially.
And if you like jet ski racing, then the best in the world are here for the Aqua X Bahamas World Championships at the Atlantis Resort. Vice President of Online Marketing and Events, Jason Spencer.
We're super excited to have the World Championship Aquacross jet ski racing here at Atlantis this upcoming weekend, November 5th and 6th. This was an event we held in 2019. We had a great reception here from all the local residents and our guests here at Atlantis, so it made perfect sense to bring it back, and we are so excited to partner with Aquacross this year for the championship race right here and right in our backyard.
All the top riders vying for that world title.
we are excited to have 35 participants this weekend in the events, which kicks off Saturday. Our gates open here at 10 o'clock, and racing starts at 11. And you'll see 4 races that Saturday, both amateur and professional and qualifying racing. And then that Sunday, we move into the championship rounds where the actual gates open at 12 o'clock here. Another 4 or 5 races, and you'll see the championship that day.
The workers busy getting the viewing area ready for spectators.
We are excited to offer this event complimentary to both our Atlantis guests and our residents here on island. So please, everyone come on out here on Saturday. You just need to show up. We have ample parking, and you'll enjoy not only some great races, but we're going to have food trucks and big beverage tents out here as well. So it'll just be a nice day. The weather's supposed to be beautiful, so no better place to be.
And we wrap up with Rose Monday, Chem of USA Women's Track and Field, speaking about the connection the United States and the Caribbean athletes have.
I think it's a phenomenal connection because a lot of your athletes even come to the States for schools, right? And so I would like to see more meets in the islands and in general, just in this like part of the world, instead of always having to go over to Europe. I mean, what are we, 50 miles, did you say, from Miami? I mean, it's such an easy, we're not even a different time zone than the East Coast. So having meets here and having the enthusiasm of the crowd, and the Bahamians, we know your history in track and field. We know all your Olympians, and we feel like they're part of us, you know. So yeah, it's to have meets here would be phenomenal because we don't have to go so far, and we got the energy and we have the crowd.
That's all for Sports Friday. I'm Charles Fisher. Enjoy your weekend, and thanks for watching.
The Sports Report was brought to you by Hoop Fest in Paradise, December 16th to the 17th at the Kendall G. Isaacs Gymnasium. The best in U.S. and Bahamian high school basketball.
The weekly specials are just better at super value and quality supermarkets. Campbell's Vegetable Soup, 10.5 ounce, $1.49. Bone-in chicken breasts, $2.59 per pound. Panamí raw shrimp, 41 to 50, 12 ounce, $5.99. Triple B malt tonic, 12 ounce, $1.09. Sweet mangoes, 2 for $3. Donate your change to help feed the Humane Society animals at super value and quality supermarkets.
We just got the new fiber internet speed bump. Now my internet's so fast I can watch 2 4K movies, play video games, and browse on my computer at the same time.
Yeah, my internet's so fast I could download a whole season of shows before my noodles run cooking.
Mine's so fast when I go to church online, service actually over early.
Mine's so fast when I'm working from home, 5 o'clock, come before 3.
Sound like you got this BTC fiber internet speed bump like me.
And it's so fast, I had to have it.
Current fiber internet bundle customers now have as much as 3 times the speed. Totally free. Link up with BTC.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather on our satellite picture, you can see this area of low pressure swirling to the east of the Bahamas. That is expected to move towards the north and triggering some showers and thunderstorms over parts of the southeast Bahamas tonight through tomorrow. Meanwhile, high pressure is in control of our weather in the northwest and central parts of the country. But by the middle of the week, this low will move further towards the northwest, and that will increase the chance of showers across much of the islands the middle of this week. As far as tonight is concerned, we're looking at breezy conditions, partly cloudy with a passing shower, 76 degrees for your low temperature. And tomorrow, pretty nice day, mostly sunny, breezy, and pleasant. High temperature just around the 83-degree mark, and extended weather forecast. Beautiful weekend shaping up weather-wise, but there will be those showers increasing, as we told you, as we head into the middle part of next week. Lloyd?
Well, thanks a lot, Basil. We also want to remind you that daylight saving time ends this Sunday, November 6th at 2 a.m. And that means you can turn your clocks back an hour. That also means there will be more light in the morning for you early risers. Once again, daylight saving time ends this Sunday, November 6th at 2 a.m. Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
And I say, boy, my island's in the sun, 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 sun. Bring it up now.
breaking, scraping, winding up and misbehaving. 700 islands run through me. In my soul, I'm Bahamian. This push give me plenty energy. For this counter party, rock that sex monkey gata. Drinking gin and coconut water. Boxing day on the goon day. Party all night and day. And that's it. My island's in the sun. The carnival time is here. Boss man, I turn to party. This junker look at me, let's so. My island's in the sun. The carnival time is here. Clubbing, breaking, scraping, winding up and misbehaving.
Oh yeah.
Come on, just move. Free time. Come on.
Break and scrape and jump and move. Master roach and bust a move. Grab the pants, start to heal and go. That's how we behave, yes, go. Just because you're proud and strong. Grab your cowbells, beat that drum. Wind your waist, gal, come alive. This carnival's juggling style.
Celebration time is in the air. Man, we come in, love and unity in the atmosphere. This backyard party, I got that Bahamian vibe. Mama tell me deep inside. So raise your hand in the air, till me people see it. And I say, my island's in the sun. Bahamian time again. When I turn to party, this junk and you get up me wet so. My island's in the sun. Bahamian time again.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.